So it is that time of the week where I talk to you guys about a couple of books that I've managed to finish this week. One was a physical book that was a lot spicier than I expected. And the other one was an audiobook from an author that I absolutely love. This one was beautifully written, but to be fair, I didn't expect anything less from this author. Good morning and welcome back. It is Friday, so that means another reading update from me. I have had a very good week. I've enjoyed the books that I have finished. So let's start off with the physical book that I finished. And that was Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. Now, I haven't read anything from this author before. However, after finishing this one, I am definitely going to be picking up more of her books, and I will 100% be carrying on with this series. I very much enjoyed this one and I rated this one 4 stars. In this one, we are following our two main characters, Cece and Nash. Cece is living in Seattle, however, she is just getting out of a very toxic relationship. So she decides to move back to her hometown and to her family's ranch. Nash is our male main character. He is a retired NHL player and he is also Cece's brother's best friend. Now, this one is classed as a cowboy romance. However, I didn't necessarily read it that way. Yes, we are on a ranch and yes, Nash does work there, but he does work 2 days a week. And this one does sort of focus more on the fact that he is a retired ice hockey player. So I just saw it more of a, I guess, sporty romance, if you like. So when Cece is desperate for a job, she is offered one by Nash to work at he's built like a massive sports centre, so she is working there for him. And of course, working together, close proximity, that sort of thing, of course, sparks are going to fly. But there was so much more about this one that I really enjoyed. I loved her family and I loved her friends as well. I love a book that has text messages in, and there's so many in this one. It just really adds to the books for me. And to be fair, if there's like the little text message parts on a page, I'm sold already. I already know that I'm gonna really enjoy it. I think as well what adds so much to the angst with this one is the fact, yes, that Nash is her boss. Yes, he is I think he's like 8 or 9 years older than her, and of course he is her brother's best friend, so there's already so much thrown in the way of these two, but they just seem to make it work. Like I said at the intro of this one is so spicy. I knew there were going to be spicy scenes. You could tell straight off that I think it was like the first or second page that this was going to be spicy just because of the sort of language that is used. But I didn't expect it to be as spicy as it was. There is a lot of sexual scenes within this one, but they are written so well. I think sometimes when there's too much spicy scenes within books, I can find myself getting a little bored. I can find myself sort of skipping the pages, or they're just not written that well. However, the author does a great job in this one. They are written so well and they definitely kept me reading. I didn't skim, and yeah, I definitely recommend this one. I'm going to carry on with the rest of the series, definitely, because why not? Let's talk about the audiobook that I finished this week as well. That was Phantom by H.D. Carlton. This is a prequel spin-off from the Cat and Mouse duet, the Haunting and Hunting Adeline. So if you have read those books, you will know that Addie moves into her great-grandmother Gigi's mansion, and she does discover Gigi's journals. So we are just sort of going back into the past with this one, and Gigi is writing through her journal and obviously her life from there. I'm not going to talk too much about that one because obviously it would be a spoiler if you haven't read Haunting and Hunting Adeline. But this one was just written so well. It was beautifully written. I just loved being in the 1940s with Gigi. The way that everything was described was just written so well. And it was just basically her living her life. She's lonely, she has her journal, and she does discover that she has a stalker that has been watching her, and a romance between the two does start to blossom. I didn't necessarily know what to expect when going into this one, but everything was just handled so well. I found myself just wanting to constantly sit and listen to this one. The voice actors really made this one for me as well. They spoke beautifully, and yeah, it was just so interesting to see so much from Parsons Manor, because we learned so much from Parsons Manor reading the other two books, but just actually being there when it was first built and just living in that world, it was just great. I definitely recommend listening to this one. Yeah, it was just so good. It was just beautiful, and I finished it last night. And I messaged my sisters straight away because I was crying because I loved it so much and I didn't necessarily want it to end. But yeah, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So there you have it. Those are the two books that I've managed to finish this week. I have started a buddy read, and I've also started a fantasy romance, which I am absolutely loving. I managed to read quite a big chunk of it yesterday, so I think I could probably get this one done by the end of the weekend. I have also been mood reading the last couple of months. However, for some reason this month I've decided to have a little bit of structure, and I have picked out a couple of books that I do want to read. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to upload a video onto here of my March hopefuls. I don't actually have that many physical copy books left on my TBR trolley, so I am trying to focus on them before buying new books. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go with it. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you aren't already, please consider liking and subscribing. I would very much appreciate it. And I will be back soon with another video. Bye!